Hi everyone, thank you very much for stopping by and a very warm welcome to Bluebell Hill Crafts. Now today I want to shine a light on the tiniest of scraps. So if you look at this, most people would probably consider this rubbish, but there's loads of things that you can still do with them, get creative with, and I thought I'd talk you through a few of the ideas that I have tried and experimented with, and also run through some of the materials. Let's start with these greeting cards. They're just plain and they have a lovely texture to them, which I always think looks really nice. I had all these pre-selected little scraps and I've just put them under the presser foot one by one, and I think the trick to these is not to have them too uniform, so they're looking, you know, playfully scattered. And there's some sari silk in there, some batiks. You can colour coordinate or just go with, you know, just a nice mix. I've done a zigzag stitch as well. Now after sewing, and I did have a little back stitch either end, I grabbed a glue stick and I just glued both ends down, so that, you know, if you put this in an envelope, they don't get creased. So very effective, I think, but really easy to make. Next are these luggage tags. So you can probably buy them in a pack of 100 or something on Amazon. I will put all the materials that I have links to in the description below. I've been collecting stamps, oh God, for years and years and years, and most of them are unmounted. So they come like this, and then you need an acrylic block or one with a handle, and that will help you stamp. Normally I use this Stars on ink, but if I stamp on fabric and it is something that will have to go in the washing machine, then I use Versacraft, because you can actually heat set this with an iron to make it colour fast. I also love using my letter stamps, and my husband heard me swear after I kept getting imprints of the rim. And he had the brilliant idea to start shaving it off with just it's a carpet knife, but you can use a craft knife. And he's literally just sliced away those corner edges. And I've not finished the other ones off yet, but it has made a big difference already so far. So they do look a lot neater that way. So maybe you'll find that helpful. When I stamp, I do play with negative space and partial impressions as well. So you can obviously just put a certain image right in the middle, but to have it partially to the side allows you to put some fabrics here, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting. So what I've done on this one is I used watercolour paper, and I like the 200 GSM for this. Any cheap practice block will be fine. I stamp on the watercolour paper, and to get these lovely beveled edges, you can just literally tear the piece to size. And the advantage of doing it on a separate piece is that you are not ruining the tag like I did here when it did look a bit messy. So I think it's just a really lovely way to personalise these luggage tags, for example, for gift wrapping. Here, if you're gifting someone a book, a bit of sari silk, and you can add sentiments or affirmations, and the recipient might use it as a bookmark afterwards. This is just another example where I've had strips of fabric that are really too narrow to do anything with because it is barely sort of 2 lots of seam allowances. And then I glued the paper, watercolour paper, over the fabric, and my go-to is the Beacon fabric tag. Absolutely brilliant. You can also use these little punches. Decorate with them. And if you wanted to round the corners, this is brilliant for doing that. I hope you've enjoyed this little crossover between sewing and paper crafting, and it's given you some ideas of how you can keep on top of your scraps by putting them to good use. And really they are so easy to make and really quite cute. Thank you very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and have fun.